Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by Tavor. I am your host, Tom Downey, and you can follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney for more Cowboys coverage. We'll start things off with a quick little news item around the Cowboys, namely a roster move. And Datone Jones, well, he's going on IR. Had a hamstring issue that caused him to miss the first 2 games of the year, and now has another strain because he just can't seem to stay healthy. So he only played 5 snaps against the Seattle Seahawks. Maybe not the biggest loss, although I do like Datone Jones, but he's going to miss some time. Replacing Datone Jones is going to be another defensive tackle, one that I know some of you guys like. That is Caraun Reid. He is going to come onto the active roster and replace Jones. So here's a look now at kind of your new look defensive line for the Cowboys. Maybe not drastically new, but just a little bit new anyway. Daniel Ross is there. He's going to continue to play a role. Malik Collins currently banged up. So with Collins hurt, who's not going to go on IR, you had to make sure you had more depth at DT. With Datone Jones hurt again, Caraun Reid will take his place. Now, Reid did flash in the preseason, a former 5th-round pick as well. He's not going to, I don't think, suddenly be the next great defensive tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. But again, I'll make note of this too. Caraun Reid does come back for a game. Don't forget that David Irving is also slated to return after Week 4. So keep an eye on that. So the Cowboys reinforcements are coming for defensive tackle. All right, on to some Cowboys rumors. Is Scott Linehan still going to call the plays? Well, unfortunately, it does seem that way. 4 stars on this one. Jason Garrett again was asked and again said that, no, I'm gonna let Scott Linehan keep calling the plays. Quote, we're not going to go down that road. Jerry Jones said the exact same thing, to which I say, but why? Linehan should not be the offensive coordinator. Here's a look at where the Cowboys rank in some key offensive stats. Sacks allowed, 26th. Third down conversion percentage, 31st. Yards per game is 30th. Passing yards per game is 31st, and so is points per game. The reality of this Cowboys offense right now is that it's bad. It's actually one of the worst in the entire NFL. I put, I guess, the plurality of the blame, because there's a lot of it to go around, on Scott Linehan. So do you guys want Scott fired? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm typing in yes. I don't want Linehan as the OC. I think Jason Garrett should be the one calling the plays right now for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, folks, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our brand new Cowboys Report YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. All of our great Cowboys coverage all in one spot. Already passed the 3K mark, but 5K is the next one, so please subscribe, folks. All right, on to some more injury notes here. Is Sean Lee going to miss several weeks for the Cowboys? It's not quite set in stone yet, but I'm pretty sure the Cowboys are going to miss Sean Lee for a few weeks. I'm giving this one 3 stars because, well, is this surprising to anyone? Name a more iconic duo, as I tweeted out. Sean Lee and missing several weeks with a hamstring injury. The more things change, the more things seem to stay the same. So he's going to be out for at least a few weeks in all likelihood. Maybe he comes back sooner than that, but don't expect that to end up being the case. It's frustrating for the Cowboys because Jalen Smith is there at middle linebacker. And with Sean Lee out, you're going to see a lot more of Leighton Vander Esch. He's going to be the guy who comes in, especially on nickel packages. So in 3 down looks or 3 linebacker looks, this is what it looks like. Wilson, Smith, and Lee. You'll see some JML and some Joe Thomas as well. But in nickel packages, it's going to be mostly Jalen Smith and mostly Leighton Vander Esch. All right, speaking of one Sean Lee, is he gone after this year? The buzz has continued to pick up now. I'm actually going to go ahead and give this one 2 stars. I'll shout out Katie Drummond. He's been ahead of this for really, I think, quite some time overall. I will fight anyone who says otherwise, but Sean Lee remains one of the top players in the NFL at linebacker if you ignore the rushing the passer side of it. When healthy, there aren't many guys I would rather have out on the field than Sean Lee. He's just too good, too dynamic, and just too elite overall. He's one of the best linebackers out there. The issue is, the caveat has always been when healthy. Well, here's the issue. He's not healthy right now. And if that's the case and you're the Cowboys, maybe you do decide to move on from Sean Lee, which I would hate because I want him so badly as a linebackers coach, then defensive coordinator down the road. A $10 million plus a little bit of change cap hit next year, and the Cowboys can save $7 million by cutting Lee. Romo, DeMarco Murray, Dez Bryant, they're all gone. I kind of think that Sean Lee is the next one up, so it'll stay in 2 stars now because it's just so far ahead. But if you made me pick one right now, I think I type in 1 for yes because I just don't know if you're going to see Sean Lee on the Cowboys in 2019, even though I love the guy. He's one of my favorite players right now on this Cowboys roster. Folks, today's show is brought to you by Tavour. You guys like beer, right? Who doesn't like beer? Well, sign up with Tavour for free to get alerted because they got all kinds of great new beer, okay? If you love beer, you're going to love Tavour. Craft beer from breweries all around the country. Use promo code ChatSports at Tavour.com to get $10 off your first purchase. You guys will love it if you love beer. All right, back to some coaching staff talk here. Is Garrett going to get fired after this season? And I'm pretty sure this is going to be the case. I'm going to give this one 3 stars, even though it is still kind of early away. Every loss increases Garrett's hot seat status. He has tied himself to Scott Linehan, which I don't think was a very good bet. And by the way, the BETDSI odds, they actually kind of favor Garrett getting fired. We'll get to those here in a little bit. But first, I do want to know from you. Should the Cowboys fire Jason Garrett? Type F for fire, type K for keep. I am saying type fire at the end of the year because I think you have to keep him for the rest of the season. Because if you fired Garrett, that also means you're probably firing Scott Linehan. And if that's the case, who calls the plays? Kellen Moore? Sanjay Lal? Yeah, that's a bit of a concern there. So fire when the year's over, but I think for now, you're almost kind of stuck with him. All right, the odds here on if Garrett will be the Cowboys head coach in 2019, plus 135 and then minus 180 for no. Look, I'm typing in no. You can bet on these right now at chatsports.com/bet. I already put some money down. It's a no for me. Garrett is not going to be the Cowboys head coach when it comes to the start of the 2019 season. I'm typing in no. All right, so minus 180 odds there. There's your risk to win. It's a worthwhile bet. Garrett's not going to be the head coach because right now this Cowboys offense can't move the ball on almost anybody. I think it's a pretty safe bet, even though it's not quite set in stone. That's why it's only the 3 stars. All right, 2 more rumors to get into here. Could there be an Earl Thomas trade? And this one, it just never, ever seems to go away. And it won't go away until after the trade deadline. The one big note was that Earl Thomas said that the Cowboys coaches asked him if he was ready for the trade on Monday. And it's Tuesday now. So that doesn't make any sense. 1 star. I don't think this is going to happen. Cowboys offered a second-round pick for Thomas in trade talks with the Seattle Seahawks, and Seattle said no. And here's the thing: if you're the Seahawks and you're clearly feuding with Earl Thomas, why would you cave and give him what he wants? Doesn't make sense on that end. Seattle and Earl Thomas, as I've said before on NFL Daily, and I think on the Cowboys show too, they're like a married couple that is clearly headed for a divorce, but they're staying together for now because they want the kids, i.e. the team, to have success. That's what's going on here. Now, the Chiefs make more sense if they want to make a big splash because if the Chiefs and the Cowboys or another team in the Cowboys offer the exact same deal, let's say it's a second-round pick or a third-round pick, well, then the Seahawks can take the other offer because they don't want to send ET to the Cowboys. Their asking price remains way too high. The Cowboys did want to restart trade talks, but as we'll get into here, I don't know if they still do. We'll explain that here in just a little bit. But let me know, folks, what would you trade for Earl Thomas? Let me know in the comment section. I've seen some buzz that you should give up a first-round pick. Absolutely not. And I'm still not. I think at this point, because you're not going to get him for about, a quarter of the year, I'm not trading my second-round pick either. All right, folks, as I've mentioned on other Cowboys Report show, I still have some Cowboys hats and T-shirts to give away. And then once we get to 20, we'll give away some Cowboys tickets to one of you guys as well. Now, these are set up through one of our sponsors, so you do have to get signed up with them. But if you want the details on how to get that Cowboys T-shirt or hat and get entered to a chance to win some tickets, DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. I'll provide all the information that you guys need. All right, back to Earl Thomas then. Namely, do the Cowboys need Earl Thomas now because they're, 1-2 and the defense needs some boost and the offense is terrible? I'm going to give it 1 star. This comes to us from Blogging the Boys over at SB Nation. Yes, Earl Thomas would help the Cowboys win more games. But with Earl Thomas, who here thinks the Cowboys are a playoff team right now? My mindset as to wanting to do it was because I thought it would give the Cowboys the push they needed to go from 9-win team, 10-win team to 10-win team, 11-win team, 12-win team, and get into the playoffs for sure. But as of right now, I think even with Earl Thomas, I don't know if this team is good enough to make the postseason. So I've changed my tune. I now say pass on a trade, especially if Seattle still wants a second-round pick. It's probably better for the Cowboys' long-term success to pass on Earl Thomas, try and sign him in the offseason, and keep that second or third-round pick, keep that value there because I just don't think Earl Thomas is enough to give this Cowboys team the push over the edge from not very good to potential playoff team, because the offense is the biggest problem right now, which we'll talk more about on tomorrow's show as well. A big thank you to Mizzen and Main for sponsoring today's show. If you want this awesome shirt, get one of your own at comfortable.af, and trust me, folks, it is indeed comfortable as F. That URL does check out. You will not own a more comfortable shirt than a Mizzen and Main shirt. One last thing, get your questions in the comments for an upcoming mailbag. We'll do that Thursday here for the Cowboys Report because, well, I kind of think we need a mailbag. So get those comments in, and then we'll see you guys on Wednesday for our winners and losers.